Ready to mix it up? Are you ready? Big Sills, National Football Show. Appreciate everybody coming aboard. Do me a favor. Please hit the like button. By the way, this is a public service announcement. If you're expecting me to cover the NBA draft, that's tonight, tonight, wrong show, leave. I have no interest in that thing. Yeah, the kid from, what's this? The kid from Purdue's decent, and the kid from Gonzaga is too thin. I don't know. Okay, he looks like Porzingis to me. Okay, could he be good? Great. There's my coverage. And the guy from Purdue looks like John Morant a little. Good. Congratulations to you. Sixers 23rd pick. Trade it. Okay, trade it. Do something. I don't care. By the way, I will say one thing about the Sixers that could intrigue you. If Kyrie Irving leaves Brooklyn, if I were Daryl Morey, I'd do everything in my power to try to entice Kevin Durant to come to Philly. Hi, man. Kevin Durant in Philly with Joel Embiid and James Harden. That might actually work. Okay? That I would be very interested in. That Big Sills would cover. Because if you're going to leave me with Ben Simmons, okay, do you know what the guy's name should be on the back of Ben Simmons' gear? It should say the Riddler. I mean, honestly, man, he's the Riddler. I've never seen an athlete that so fits that name, the Riddler. Wait, what's Ben Simmons? Yeah, Halloween, he's going as the Riddler. Hey, thank you very much, Johnson. Yes, there's my coverage for my NBA. Now we move on and we punt to football. I appreciate everybody coming aboard. Thank you so much. We got a bunch of topics. By the way, my boy Barrett Brooks will be at the bottom of the hour. I can't wait to connect with my friend. We'll do that at the bottom of the hour. I do want to start the show off with doing this. Let's start with the cash register, known as the National Communist Association of America, better known to all as the NC2A. So Arch Manning, I think he's Cooper's kid. Okay, and I think the uncles are Eli and Peyton. Okay, and the great-grandfather is Archie Manning. So I think that's how that works. So today he announced that he wasn't going to go to Alabama. He was going to go to Texas. Really? Texas? Where did that parachute in from? Oh, interesting. Who has the biggest boosters in the country? The Longhorns. Who has the richest program in the country? It's actually number 2 next to Texas A&M. I told you this a couple weeks ago. This new nil law rule that the NCAA is now determining how to deal with this thing, those schools in that state are going to explode. The best players in the country are going to go to Texas schools. You know why? They have the most money to spend, and they will spend it. This notion where you're hearing some schools like, did you hear Jim Harbaugh say that Michigan will not spend any money to recruit kids into Ann Arbor? Bye-bye. Don't knock on my door, Jim. Hey, Jim, if that's how you see your program, don't ever knock on my door or recruit me ever again. Do not knock on my door because I'm going to the best opportunity. And now that means money. Do you know Arch Manning may leave college with $25 million in his pocket before he even signs an NFL contract? If Bryce Young, who's making nearly $4 million a year this year at Alabama, okay, makes that kind of cash, what do you think a name like Arch Manning is going to make with his legendary uncles? What do you think he's going to make at Texas? This guy's going to be turning down more car deals than any other athlete in amateur sports history. And I mean, that may even mean Usain Bolt. He will be the richest amateur athlete, I guess, in the history of sports. That is a story to watch. You don't think Texas offered him some money? It's not illegal to offer him money. It's not illegal. So if you're Steve Sarkisian, hey, when you come play at the Longhorns, you know what you get here. Boosters out the wazoo. You're going to be going into the SEC in a couple of years. I don't think he's ever going to play in the Southeastern Conference, okay? Because I think that's like 3 years out. I don't think he's going to be at Texas 3 years. This kid's supposed to be one of the greatest prospects in the history of college football. I'll say this to you, too. It's no slight at Alabama. I know Xander covers this with me here. It's no slight. Okay? It's not. Nick Saban just got kind of his hand slapped a little bit because he went after Texas A&M talking about the nil effect on that program. Maybe Arch didn't want to be involved in any of that stuff. Okay? Maybe he didn't want to be involved in that. Now he goes to a coach that needs him. Hey, Texas offered him money. Can you imagine how much? How about this? I don't think they offered a dollar sum, but you know what I do think they offered? Opportunity. If you're recruiting today in college football, this is what I'm doing. I'm doing this. You know we have the best boosters in the country. You know we have oil money in this state. I've said this to you. Baylor, TCU, Texas Tech, SMU. All those boosters and alumni that went to those programs or support those programs are some of the richest boosters in the country. That area of the country is as passionate about football as the Southeastern Conference is. The rest of them are not. Jim Harbaugh showed you how, I would say this, how out of touch Michigan is. Michigan, they will be out of the national championship picture probably in a year and a half. They'll never see it again. You don't hear Ohio State saying that stuff that Harbaugh said. Ohio State is not going to say that because Ohio State knows you want to compete with Clemson and the SEC and them Texas schools, you're going to have to come up with package deals to get these kids to come to your programs today because these kids are going to go to the highest bidder. You want to hear something even more remarkable? Your quarterback in Philly makes $1.2 million. That's chump change to Arch Manning and Bryce Young right now. That's chump change. Arch Manning is going to make more money in his freshman year probably than what Jalen Hurts will make in the contract that he signed in totality in Philly. By the time Bryce Young leaves Alabama and you're making $4 million, Bryce Young will have $10 million in his pocket. $10 million before he even gets the opportunity to be selected by an NFL team. I mean, you talk about, hey, watch this. The highest paid quarterbacks in the league? Well, Jalen Hurts would be behind some of the kids like that Caleb Williams guy who just got a contract or whatever at SC. And the kid now down at Ohio State, C.J. Stroud, and Bryce Young. Hell, Tyler Van Dyke makes over $1 million. Jalen Hurts, man, he makes chump change. No wonder Howie loves him. Landscape of college football has changed dramatically here. Arch Manning goes to Texas. Okay? That's no shocker. The opportunity. Hey, Austin's a great city, too. If you've ever been to Austin, hey, man, the gear's great. The program is great. That kid's going to be, I think, a superstar in Austin. I think he's going to put them back on the map again. Okay? Hey, Manster, think about that. You got about 5 college football quarterbacks making twice the money your quarterback in Philly makes. Okay? I mean, these high school kids make more than your boy in Philly. Okay? Holy cow. Beansy says that's because Arch Manning and Bryce Young are better quarterbacks than Hurts. Are we really starting that already? Jesus criminy, it's 10 minutes into the program. Big Sills would have had 2 of his big red Corvettes. Damn straight, dog. Damn straight. That big red Corvette that Big Sills had when I was at the University of Miami, isn't that great? My very first car was a brand new Corvette, and it was my junior year, and it only had 7 miles on it. Oh, my God, I got into the car. Anthony Abraham. You know who hooked me up? Norman Brayman. Because I was looking at either a caddy or I was looking at a Corvette. Yes, and this is while I was at the University of Miami. And I decided on the Corvette. So Mr. Brayman sent me over to a guy by the name of Anthony Abraham. Okay? And Big Sills went over, and I go, what you got? And then you know what Anthony Abraham said? He went like this. I gotcha. Oh, yeah, baby. Oh, yeah, Big Sills. Big Sills don't drive foreign cars, bro. That's my other car. Big Sills likes, you know what? Hey, I will admit, once I got to the NFL, I did go after like the Porsches and the Lotuses and all that stuff. But in the end, man, it always came back to the big Hummer that I have now. The good thing about the Hummer is I own it. So I know you're saying gas mileage, but man, my first car was a nice red Vet. Hey, Xander, man, if you get a chance to pop that picture up, can you imagine Big Sills in today's world being recruited? Holy, and I was recruited by Michigan. I would have told Jim Harbaugh this, bro, it ain't working. It ain't working. Hey, when I went to SMU on one of my recruiting trips, so I'm sitting down with those dudes at SMU, and I go like this. Yeah. Where are we going? The guy goes like this. What do you mean where we're going? I mean, where are we going here? And the guy goes, what do you want? I go, no. The question is, what do you have? Don't make me ask the question, because if I'm asking the question, we got a problem here. Okay? What do you have? Don't ask me, where are we going? Well, do you need a job? A good job? That's not kind of, depending on what the job is. Okay? What, you think recruiting and recruiting wars, that shit didn't go on? If you're a 4 or 5 star kid, those conversations go on all the time. How do you think they got me to Maryland? Hey, Dan, I got a job for you at TikTok Liquor. TikTok Liquor? What's that? It's an off-campus liquor store. He's a Maryland alumni. He'll pay you $1,200 a week. This was like in '83. And I went, how many hours do I have to work? He goes, 1 hour a day? He goes, yeah. I went, how you doing? All right. It sounds good. Big Sills rolling it in. I'm like, yeah, that's good. Yeah, that's good. Hey, I'm good with it. I like it. Hold on here. I just got another text from Mario Cristobal. Hold on here. See, I'm helping recruit. So Mario sent this to me. So hold on for a second. Okay. Yes. So over on my Twitter, I have to do this. Hold on for a second here. God, we're stealing from Alabama so bad. Okay. Oh, yeah. Hey, Xander, we're stealing this guy from you. Got this guy away from Bama. Kane's rule. Here we go. Kane's rule. Yes, sir. Kane's rule. There we go. I just got to tell Mario I posted it for him. Posted. There we go. Let me see. Yeah, just got to make sure because I'm helping recruit. Okay. And by the way, I'll tell you a little bit more about TVD. So Mario just sent me this. Here, and I'll show it to you. I want to make sure that it's up. Okay. By the way, I want you to know something else. The Phoenix media are pissed off at Herm Edwards because they went on our show. Because he's not doing local media because they've had some NCAA issues. There we go. See, look. Look at Big. Look at me at to you. Look at that. Look at that brand new red vet. Oh, that's so good looking, man. I love that car. My very first car. See, look, here's the guys today. Mario just texted that to me. How you done? Look at that. So I'm helping recruit. And I'm helping the Eagle fans. I'm helping you guys out a little bit here. Had a nice conversation. And like I told you yesterday, see, Xander wants to get Tyler Van Dyke on soon. I'm not having him on until week 7. That's your bye week. When you're 3-3, that's what I'm getting. Look, he just texted me. Gracias. See, I'm helping recruit. Turned him on to some advertisers. By the way, I also turned him on to my cousin who wants to meet him. Dude, look at that vet, baby. You see that vet, man? Big Sills' first vet? Look at that thing, man. Damn, tires all looking good. I fit in that thing like a glove. Jimmy Johnson hated that car. That's right there at the University of Miami practice facility, too. Brand spanking new. Big Sills driving in a vet. Could you see that my junior year? How you doing, ladies? Got the tees off, rolling around. Man. Word up, Jeff. Word up. Okay. So before I get into the Eagle topics, since Mario interrupted my show here and wanted me to help recruit a kid, he goes, Polynesian Power. Oh, some of the greatest players of all time. I never realized how bad my finger was broken there. Anyway, not as bad as that one over there. Anyway, so where was I? Because I'm helping recruit. Oh, yeah. Since he was asking me to help recruit, and I am helping recruit anytime you need somebody. In the process, he goes like this. He goes, I hear you've been talking about Tyler on your show. I go, yeah. I go, the fans in Philly are still hell-bent on. What's the kid's name? Hey, what's the kid's name you guys got quarterback in? Help me out here. What's his name? What's that guy's name? Jalen Hurts. Sorry. Had a CTE moment for a minute. Jalen Hurts. Yeah. By the way, you have one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL on your team. I'm going to explain here in a minute. It's going to lead into my topics. Okay? It's going to lead into my topics. That was low? What do you mean low? Hey. Sometimes I just forget. Huh? His name is Week 7. Big Pimp Sills. Oh, Mike. Gardner Minshew. Interesting. So, again, Mario goes, when do you want the kid on your show? Easy, Xander. I said week 7 into the NFL season. We should be ready to go by then. He goes, so what do you mean? I go, well, hey, by the way, all the folks at the Nova Care Center, how you doing? Oh, man, what else do you want? Okay, all right. Kid really wants to know about Philly. Mario, they're not sold yet. Fan base loves Hurts. They'd rather have him. They'd rather have him than Tyler. So I think we're going to have to send him to the Giants. Oh, man. You guys would kill me if I sent him to the Giants. You would kill me if I sent him to the Giants. Oh, no, but it wouldn't be me. It would be you sending him to the Giants. Okay, so let me get into my topics here. Hit the like button here. By the way, Barrett Brooks, bottom of the hour here in a couple minutes. You have one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL. I have a list to prove it. Here are the top 10 backup quarterbacks in the National Football League. Sileo always talks about what Hurts will not make, but he was a complete trash as a player. He was cut more than a surgeon. Huh. I was the 56th player taken in the draft, Junior. I did have a 7-year professional football career. I played in 4 leagues because I love playing ball, okay? I'm an alumni of the National Football League, the Canadian Football League, the World League, and also the Arena League. How many leagues are you a part of? How many alumni are you part of, Junior? Before you throw anything at me, I bet you got hurt in high school and you were 7th team All-City. Hey, man, it's all good. Don't worry about it. I know that guy. Hey, I would have been a really great player, okay? I would have been a really great player if I didn't hurt my cervix. I would have been a really great player if I didn't hurt my cervix when, I was chasing after a loose football in special teams on the JV team. It's all good, Junior. Hey, I'm comfortable with who I am. I'm all right. I got it. Hey, I'm good. Trust me. I'm good. I made over $2 million playing pro ball. Just put that in your hat. Here are your top 10 backup quarterbacks. Okay? Here they are. Tyler Heinicke, number 10. Oh, yeah, Kenneth, you know that guy. I always get this guy at the bar when he's had too many drinks of courage. They always do this to me. I was really good. I was 7th team All-City. But, I hurt my hymen, and I was like, I was really going to be awesome. But, hey, man, hey, I had to give up my dream. And what are you now? I'm a checkout guy. Yeah. Oh, good, man. Let me get back to my list. Tyler Heinicke, number 10. Number 9, Tyrod Taylor, Giants. Number 8, Andy Dalton, Saints. Number 7, Jacoby Brissett, Browns. Number 6, Case Keenum, Bills. Number 5, I like this kid, Tyler Huntley, Ravens. I love that dude. Damn, as a Chico, my feelings are hurt. Oh, I'm sorry. I apologize. Make you feel better? Number 4, Gardner Minshew, one of the best backup quarterbacks in the NFL. Holy cow. Number 3, Teddy Bridgewater, Dolphins. Number 2, Nicky Foles, Colts. Number 1, Jimmy G, 49ers. I'm calling him a backup right now because they want to hand the job to, can I say that on my broadcast? They want to hand him the job in San Francisco. So there you have it. Tyler Heinicke, Tyrod Taylor, Andy Dalton, Jacoby Brissett, Browns. Case Keenum, Bills, 6. Tyler Huntley, 5. Ravens. Gardner Minshew, one of the greatest backup quarterbacks in NFL history. Teddy Bridgewater, number 3, Dolphins. Nick Foles, the great Nick Foles, what he did in Philly, number 2. And Jimmy G, number 1. So you do have a quarterback in the top 10. I have a question for you. What we brought up yesterday, and this is kind of serious now. So we've now decided that you have the best O-line in football. You have 2 of the top 10 offensive tackles in the game, in Jordan Mailata, Lane Johnson. You have a tight end that's one of the top 5 tight ends in the National Football League. You have a playmaking wide receiver you spent $100 million on. You got another wide receiver you spent a first-round draft choice on. You've upgraded your football team massively on the other side of the rock. And by the way, this is why I'm saying that you're a contender to win the NFC. My question to you is this, and here's the topic. Will the Eagles give Jalen Hurts the entire season to succeed or fail? Remember, they pulled Wentz. Howie pulled Wentz once he had seen enough. And what was the words? We wanted to see what Nate Sudfeld had. We wanted to see what Nate Sudfeld, who's a bum, what he had. What do you mean what he had? You mean what he doesn't have? He was a bum. The Eagle management took a knee in that game at the end of the season. One of the most disrespectful things you could ever do to a player. Setting the player up for failure. Huh? Okay? You tell me. All right. We're going to take a small timeout. Then after the timeout, we're going to talk to our friend Barrett Brooks. Hit the like button. Keep it right here on the National Football Show.
News at 11 with Rick Williams. It's the team you trust to bring it all together. The stories that impact your community, a sports roundup for the locals, and the AccuWeather forecast you depend on. Action News at 11 with Rick Williams.
All right, did you know I was the mommy slam dunk champion?
Really?
Yes, really, don't sound so surprised.
Let's see it.
Oh, you're ready. All right, here we go. Let's hear the crowd. So go to right, go to left, fake 'em out. Mama, go up, mama!
She did it.
Again?
You can't avoid gravity, but United Healthcare can help you avoid financial surprises by helping you compare costs and doctor quality ratings. United Healthcare.
Uh-huh.
Field of life, First Trust Bank is there for you.
Champions on 3. 1, 2, 3.
Because Philadelphia dreams deserve a Philadelphia bank.
Go for the midnight dares. Go for the game. Go for the hits. Go for the fans. Go for the win. Go to Ocean Casino Resort. Book your trip at theoceanac.com.
Welcome back. Big Sales National Football Show. Man, I'll tell you something here. You know, I was doing a show with Barrett Brooks, and, you know, it was just two old football guys banging stuff off each other, having fun times and all this and that. And now he's with two media guys. Man, I don't know, man. I watch him like every day, and I'm like, man, I don't know. Let me bring my guy Barrett Brooks in here now, man.
What's up, dog? What's up?
Hey, man. I got to tell you, and by the way, I love D Gun. I love Ellis, man. But I sit there and I go, man, my boy's being nice because he has to.
Well, look, those guys still got to go in the locker room, man. So, you know.
yeah, that's right. Because see, Barry could just walk in the locker room. They're like, hey, man, there's part of the family right here, man. These other guys got to work their way in. And so Barrett doesn't have to do that. Hey, by the way, the show's great, man. You guys are doing a great job.
Appreciate it, man. Appreciate it. But I miss you, bro. I miss you.
Oh,
man.
Me too, man. I miss kicking it around with you here. And I want to throw this at you right off the gate because I just threw this topic out to these guys. You know, I was looking, on everything that Howie has done this offseason. Two of the top 10 offensive tackles are on the Philadelphia Eagles and Lane Johnson and Jordan Mailata. You have the fifth best tight end potentially in the NFL. You have $100 million wide receiver. You got a guy 2 years ago you spent a first-round draft choice on. This football team gets out to a 2-5 start. Do they give Jalen the entire year to fail or succeed? Or do they look at this and go, okay, I've seen enough at the bye and we know what's going on here? Or do you think they give him the entire year to run through the tape?
No, this is something where they got to have proven results now. You know, when you give him that guy, and that's really the only thing that they improved really in that on the opposite side of the ball was bringing in AJ Brown. It still to me completes what they needed to help Jalen out. Jalen needed a guy that he can have a huge catch radius and a forgiving catch radius, you know, more so a forgiving catch radius than anything, that he can rely on to throw the ball to him, and he can consistently either block guys out or just go strong arm and catch it from smaller DBs or, you know, anybody. And when you have that, now it puts you in a position where it opens up the rest of the field. Now, you know, it's a lot easier to read coverage when you have a double team on AJ, and then you know you have one-on-one on the backside with Smitty or you know, Goddard running around in the middle of that field, because you can then know that you're going to have single coverage because they can only double team one guy, really, you know, as a defense.
But Barrett, let me ask you this here, though. I mean, so you're expecting he's averaged 60 in 3 years in Tennessee. He's averaged 68 catches, 998 yards a year, and 8 touchdowns. We're under the assumption that is going to improve under Jalen. I don't think Jalen's the passer that Tannehill is, and I'm not suggesting that Tannehill is a leader or anything, but we're still got to work. How you expect his numbers to go up?
I think so. I put out there at least 38 to maybe 3,900 yards passing. I know his touchdowns, you know, will go up dramatically also. Just by, you know, the results that I've seen with his improvement as a player, number one. But number two, he's going to be in the same offense for more than just 1 year. And then number three, you have a healthy running game in which, you know, and I'm going to tell you this, take that run pass option out of there. Don't run pass option him. If you're going to do anything, look at what Dallas did with Dak Prescott to open up the offense. You know, run the ball, because you know you can run a ball that offensive line, and use play action to push the ball down the field. When you use play action, it's not just to, you know, fool the defense. You know, 9 times out of 10 it doesn't fool the defense. But what it does do is give you a solid offense. What I mean by solid is you keep a tight end in, you keep a backside running back in. You have more blockers, and it's more of a solid protection as opposed to, and the offensive line is more aggressive. So it kind of opens up everything as far as, what you need is a quarterback. You have the protection because if they blitz, you still got people to stop the blitz. But then you can see the route combinations open up because there's only 2 routes out there. So it lends that you don't have to read anything. You know where you're going to go with the ball. So do that instead of running this RPOs. You don't want to get this kid killed unless it's a running play in which it's designed for him to run. Take them RPOs out, man. They don't work. Finally, defense in the NFL have caught up on how to stop RPOs, man. Defensive coordinators know how to stop it, so why even, do it anymore? I mean, it's all for naught.
You think that Devontae's numbers go up too?
I think they stay around where he is, about 900 yards. I do. I mean, because he's going to have a lot of one-on-one. A lot of one-on-one action.
With the number 2 corner.
Exactly. I mean, so even, I'll take Smitty getting open and getting separation with a number 2 corner all day. He was the number 1 and still had 900 yards.
Yeah.
Now he's in a position where he's going to be one-on-one with a guy, and that's a second tier guy as opposed to drawing the starting cornerback. So I mean, I just see things in, and I know I see things through rose-colored glasses, but I mean, I'm just putting 2 and 2 together. You know what I'm saying? And it should equal 4, and my 4 is equal to Jalen Hurts going out there and playing. And drastically improving from what he did last year. Now, I was reading the comments and everything, and they're saying, Gardner Minshew has a better arm. Well, better, stronger arm does not always equate to a better quarterback. Ryan Leaf had the strongest arm I've ever seen in my life and couldn't throw through anything. He couldn't throw anything. Then I got to see guys with like Drew Brees with noodle arms who could throw and run an offense just as good as anything. Tom Brady does not have a strong arm. Yeah, Peyton Manning, exactly. Right? So it doesn't matter how strong your arm is, or how you process the information that's given to you. And I think that Sirianni and the offensive coordinator, I can see them not necessarily dumbing it down, but when you put your quarterback in a better position on calling plays that better suit his skill set, it makes for a better offensive output because of that.
Do you agree that the 3 biggest question marks going into the 2022 season for the Eagles is head coach, DC, and the play of Jalen? Those 3 things, because they're all tentacled together and they're all strung together. Those 3 things, do you agree?
Because they gave him everything that they wanted. They gave the head coach another target. They gave Gannon the defense to run these multiple fronts. And Hurts, they made him a better player just by bringing in a better receiver. So now, Goddard gets a full year as opposed to having half a year when Ertz was there. You look at Gannon. Gannon can now run that 50 front that he's been wanting to run. He wants to cover that center and both guards up with those 3 big guys. Now you got Davis and those 2 other guys, Cox and I forget his name.
Hargrave.
Hargrave over the center. And the 2 guards. Now on the outside, you got Brandon Graham and Hassan Reddick, or however you want to use on the outside. As an offense, when you call plays, you have to call plays according to what you have in front of you. And when you have those type of defenses, a 50 front like that, you got to block it man. Because if you slide the protection, either way, you slide it away from Brandon Graham. That means you're going to have Brandon Graham against a tight end or a running back. Or if you slide it away from Brandon Graham, that means you have Hassan Reddick one-on-one against a tight end or a running back. I mean, the numbers just dictate that you have to block those guys up front in the middle with big guys, offensive linemen. So that means the tackles have to block those guys on the outside with Brandon Graham and Hassan Reddick. The 2 guards have to block Hargraves and Cox, and the center has to block Davis. You can't have those guys on smaller blockers. They'll eat all day with that. So, I mean, that's why you run those type of fronts. You have to create. And plus, the biggest Achilles heel to this defense that Gannon had to really fix is first down. Yeah. They was by far the worst first down defense in the league. They were it's easy to call plays when it's 2nd and 2, 3rd and 2, as opposed to it being, 2nd and 10 or 2nd and 9, because they just ran the ball on them, get 6 yards, and now they got a 2nd and 4. I mean, that your playbook is like this, as opposed to if it's 2nd and 10, now it's down like this. So I mean, just by the nature of the position that they put them in and bringing in guys that that could run the defenses he wants to run, he better have some results. Gannon better step up.
I'll say this to you, too, that defense, this is why I'm high on the Eagles this year. And I'll tell you, it's not so much because of what they did, Barrett, on the offensive side. It's the personnel settings and groupings that they can throw at you with the multiple fronts, 43, like you said, wide 5, whatever you want to do.
Exactly.
You're going to be able to do this. And maybe, the impact that we see Jordan Davis have this year, he had 9 sacks in 43 games when he played at Georgia. However, the thing that you just mentioned to me is critical, because if they're effective on first and second down, those quarterbacks are not going to go into the link with 90% completion percentage, 73, because they're going to constantly be in third and long.
Exactly.
So his impact, Barrett, may not be getting to the quarterback. It may be keeping the opposing teams in third and long. And if we're trying to change that offense into a passing offense, we're going to see a lot of 3 and outs at the beginning of the year.
Yes.
They've got to get that offense off the field of the opposing team. That's why I'm high. Am I right on when I'm saying this?
You're absolutely right on, because there's not a lot of guys that can go out and stop the run from a 3 technique or 1 technique consistently without great linebacker play. And they did get some good linebackers. But imagine, it's not like you got you and Jerome stopping the run. You guys could stop the run by yourselves. You guys didn't need linebackers behind you. These guys need linebackers. Last year, all they did was double team Hargraves and Fletcher Cox, and those linebackers played so far back that they, by the time they did come up to make the play, they're already 6 yards down the field. You know what I'm saying? So they've gained 6 yards simply because the linebackers didn't go up. They didn't have those type of boss defensive tackles that I thought that you could stop the run by themselves. Well, now you have some guys in there that you have to block one-on-one with the addition of Davis on the center. They got to block on one-on-one, so that means, okay, then pick your poison now. Who are you gonna block? Who are you gonna slide a protection to? Who are you gonna block these outside guys with? And I think they have enough on the outside now to generate pressure on them.
I definitely do. A couple last questions for you here, Barrett. Let me say this to you too. And please tell me if I sound like old man get off my lawn stuff here, okay? Because man, when I hear the lack of practice time and look, hey Barrett, OTAs, I kind of get it, helmets and shorts and okay, but it's becoming.
They didn't have helmets on; they had hats on.
How are you going to get Jalen Hurts better with limited? This is what Phil Simms called it on our show. He called it on our show. When you play in exhibition football games, those are quality reps. When you play in the controlled scrimmages, they're not as quality reps as they are in the game. Now, look, I get it. It's exhibition football, but those are more quality reps. When you're not putting your first team out there and your quarterback and your group settings and you're in that controlled scrimmage and you're not practicing a lot, is that a concern in starting out like they did a year ago, Barrett, they want to be healthy. I totally understand that. They want to be healthy. They were healthy a year ago, but I went like this. You weren't healthy in 2017. You won the Super Bowl. You were healthy last year, and you got destroyed by the Bucs in the opening round. Where do you fall on this?
How do you run an NT stunt, a nose tackle, and you don't know how your guy's going to set him up on the inside? I mean, is he going to flash like this, and then you use the nose come and knock the center off, and then you go around? It's going to be those guys, since they don't have the practice time to do that, they're just going to bump into each other because they haven't had those reps. I'm sitting here at left tackle, and I got an MBB stunt on. They got an MBB stunt on defense, and I'm looking at my guard. The guard sets, and instead of him, seeing that linebacker go out, instead he just watched the linebacker go out. Instead of setting and then going out and hitting that end that's crashing down, hitting him in the mouth, so you keep that separation, and then giving me and knocking me off to get the linebacker coming around. You only get that from playing the guy next to you and having those reps and having your body feel that sort of play. You know what I'm saying? It's not necessarily, you can't just watch it on film. You have to have your body get muscle memory of doing that type of scheme.
But Barrett, it's also communication too.
Exactly.
Like when Jerome would go like this, I'm going to tilt the center over here this way so that you can grab him on the backside here. And when you're doing, I'm going to tilt.
Fans, that's called cheating, because that's called cheating.
He's not talking, right, Barrett? That's talking through practice that you can't do on the chalkboard.
I'm about to say people in the string. Yeah, that's called cheating because you heard what he said. You're gonna grab that tackle. See, you wrong for that. See, but yeah, you're absolutely right because he's telling you, all right, or he'll say, all right, hey, I'm gonna go. So back me up. I'm gonna go right here. Now you know that you can't go because he's going. Now you can come and like double in where he was.
Hold on for a second. I want to tell you what Barrett would do. Hey, I'm gonna set him up high, low him, get his ass. Hey, this guy does that shit again. I'm gonna leg whip his ass. I'm gonna go up high. You come down in there. Don't be throwing that at me there.
See, but that's communication. With you were comfortable with telling your guy, this is what I'm about to do, so you guys could execute it. How are they going to get that sense? Even the secondary, Bradbury and those guys hadn't played together before. Taft hadn't played with these guys before. How are you going to get the full speed reps of watching these route combinations coming off the ball, and you as the corner, you and Slay getting that down? Bradbury, Slay, Tart, all those guys have to work together. Epps, they haven't played together before. That's a whole new different secondary than they had before. So how are you going to get that chemistry between those guys if you don't get the reps together? It's going to be tough, man.
It is, man. Hey, finally here. Did you play against Goose?
I did. That was my dude too, man. In fact, I was just telling those guys, the first time I ever went to a charity golf tournament was at Sarah Goose's golf tournament. And needless to say, stuff that I saw there, I shouldn't have saw it. In fact, whatever happened on the ninth green, stayed in ninth green.
Those pit guys are messed up, man.
Oh man, and it was in Atlantic City, and this is my foursome. It was the foursome in front of us. They had Jordan and Charles, and I'm with Rodney Pete, and we ended up going into that group up there. And I tell you what, I was in charge of just driving the cart and serving the liquor and the cigars to them, and that was probably the best time ever. The best time I ever had on a golf tournament, man.
Hey, Barrett, I was at a golf outing with Goose and a bunch of his boys like Fralick and them guys up at Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
All I'll tell you is I woke up, my pants were down by my waist, and I had no idea what house I was in, and I had no idea how I got there, and I had no idea why my pants were down to my ankles. And I got up, and I was so afraid. And I was by myself.
See, and like I said, what happened on the ninth green stayed on the ninth green. So just put it like that, man.
Absolutely. Hey, man, just do me a favor. That D Gun, man, he gives you a lot of stuff about, Hey, Barrett's got Barrett time. Okay, it's called Barrett time, man. I love you and your mom and bro. I tell you what, thank you for the message on Father's Day. You are one of my truly good friends now. I'm so proud to be your boy, man. Thank you so much, man. It means a lot to me.
Oh, man, you my dog, man. Call me anytime, bro, all right?
You got me too, man. Anytime you need. Thank you, Barrett. That's my boy, Barrett Brooks, man. Love talking with him. We have a fun time each and every single time. Do me a favor. Go to my friends at Morgan & Morgan, where the fee is free. If you're hurt or injured on the job, understand that this is the one law firm that you will need to go to battle for you because they're the biggest law firm in the country. For the people is not a slogan. It's not some gimmick that they have. This is what they are. This is who they've been for 30 years plus, collecting over $13.5 billion worth of compensation for their clients. 800 attorneys strong. That's an army of attorneys in offices in Philly, New York, and in Florida. Nobody's bigger than Morgan & Morgan. And there's no such thing, by the way, as a fender bender. Call them at 800-512-1600. That's 800-512-1600. The call is free. The consultation is free. 800-512-1600. Listen, 24/7, 7 days a week, Morgan & Morgan is open. And when you call Morgan & Morgan, do me a favor. Tell them Big Sil sent you.
When choosing a lawyer for your injury case, you may ask, does the size of the law firm matter? Well, of course it does. The insurance company, they're huge with unlimited resources. And whether your case is big or small, they're built to bully you out of the money you're owed. But here's the good news. We're big too, the biggest actually. And we're built to fight to make them pay for all that was taken from you. Size is our strength. There's only one Morgan & Morgan, forthepeople.com.
Action News at 11 with Rick Williams. It's the team you trust to bring it all together. The stories that impact your community, a sports roundup for the locals, and the AccuWeather forecast you depend on. Action News at 11 with Rick Williams.
All right, did you know I was the mommy slam dunk champion?
Really?
Yes, really don't sound so surprised.
Let's see it.
Oh, you're ready. All right, here we go. Let's hear the crowd. So go to right, I go to left, I fake 'em out. Mama go up, up.
She did it.
Again?
You can't avoid gravity, but United Healthcare can help you avoid financial surprises by helping you compare costs and doctor quality ratings. United Healthcare.
Uh-huh.
Field of life, First Trust Bank is there for you.
Champions on 3. 1, 2, 3.
Because Philadelphia dreams deserve a Philadelphia bank.
Go for the midnight dares. Go for the game. Go for the hits. Go for the fans. Go for the win. Go to Ocean Casino Resort. Book your trip at theoceanac.com.
Big Sills, National Football Show. Please hit the like button. Love talking to my homie, man. I love that guy, Barrett Brooks. I do, man. I just love that guy. 12 plus years in the National Football League, playing with a chip on his shoulder the way he does. Man, I just have nothing but great respect for that man. I really do. And he's nice to everybody, but trust me, man, when you play that long, okay, he's got one of them dark side parts of him too, because they all do. All right? I just love that guy, man. Such a fan of his. Hey, real quick, before I get into what my topic was and I threw at you guys, and by the way, nobody answered it. And by the way, I'm going to tell you what I would do. I'm not giving that kid a full year if it's not going well. I'm not going to stumble along. I'll get to that here in a minute. Today's the 50th anniversary of Title IX. The fight for women's sports. My daughter is a collegiate athlete, and she plays rugby, a very physical sport. And her team's one of the top 4 teams in the country. And I would have a problem with my daughter playing against a dude that called himself a woman. Okay, I would. And by the way, this is no slight on who you want to be in your life. You could be whatever you want. You can have your own life, your own thoughts, your own practices, but don't inflict it on women's sports who have been fighting for 50 years to get their place on the sports page. Why would the White House and why would politics and politicians try to hurt and damage women's sports when they've gone so far and fought so hard to get where they are now? You injure women's opportunities to get scholarships, have a bite of the apple the same way that other collegiate athletes have, having their chance. I am completely against anything where somebody says that I could be a dude and go into women's sports. You're polluting it. And again, you know what you're going to hear? Silio's, he's a homophobe, or he doesn't believe in transgender. I can say that. That's not what I'm saying. You can be whatever you want in your life, but not at the expense of others. That's your personal choice. That's not my daughter's personal choice to play against a transgender player. That's a political view. That's political politics doing that. That's the White House doing that. That should never be in sports. You know the beautiful thing? Do you know the beautiful thing about sports? And you all know this. We have a scoreboard. There's a scoreboard. You can't move the scoreboard. You see, in politics, you can move the chains all the time. Even a loss, you can debate a loss with a political race and move the chains. They do it every day. It's ad nauseum. But in sports, there's a winner and loser. You can't change that dynamic. When the Patriots went undefeated in the regular season and got beaten in the Super Bowl by that 10-6 Giants team, you can't erase that. Or when the Eagles pounded the Patriots, you can't go like this. Well, that was just a fluke. Okay? Didn't really happen. That's the greatest thing about sports. But what happens today is we bring politics into the sports world. Here's another great example of it. You know, it's crazy. One of the greatest things that Richard Nixon ever did was Title IX. You see that thing signed on the wall back there? That's signed by Nixon. I was honored by the White House years and years ago as one of the best. You remember those things, Faces in the Crowd, Sports Illustrated used to have? I was one of those kids back in the day. And it was such an honor to be honored by the White House like that. Dude, don't pollute collegiate sports. And I never have been more passionate about women's sports now because my daughter's involved in it. Okay? I mean, I just don't do that. Women's sports have fought so hard to get where they are. We barely watch it now. And you're going to make a freak show out of it. Congratulations to all the women that are in America right now. Congratulations to Billie Jean King, Martina Navratilova, all those folks that have made women's sports. Serena Williams is one of my favorite athletes of all time because of Title IX. She's brilliant. I would say this, Serena might be the greatest tennis player in American history. And it's because of Title IX. Let's not screw this thing up a little bit here. That's all I'm saying. Keep your politics out of sports. So not cool, man. It's just not cool. And by the way, nobody supports it. Nobody supports that. But psychotic, most Democrats don't support that. Wacko liberals support that stuff. Nobody wants to see women's sports in the sports page for the wrong reason. I want to see women's sports when we're talking about Florence Griffith Joyner, or we're watching Serena, and we're watching these brilliant athletes of today, and we're just cheering them on. The LPGA Tour has some really great golfers on it now. Come on, man. Do we really need to go there? Doesn't make sense. You can't do this. Well, because I was a failure as a male athlete, I want to do it on the women's level. That's not helping women's sports. And by the way, this has nothing to do with my view on whether or not you have a right to call yourself whatever. Call yourself whatever you want in life. I don't care. It has no bearing on my life. But don't make it a bearing on my life. All right. I asked you this topic, and I want to reset it at the top here. Are you prepared to give the full season to Jalen? Come hell or high water. Are you willing to give him the full year? Okay? Are you? Do me a favor. Hit the like button. Hour 2. Keep it right here on the National Football Show.
Action News at 11 with Rick Williams. It's the team you trust to bring it all together. The stories that impact your community, a sports roundup for the locals, and the AccuWeather forecast you depend on. Action News at 11 with Rick Williams.
All right, did you know I was the mommy slam dunk champion?
Really?
Yes, really, don't sound so surprised.
Let's see it.
Oh, you're ready. All right, here we go. Let's hear the crowd. So go to right, I go to left, I fake them out. Mama go up, mama!
She did it.
Again?
You can't avoid gravity, but United Healthcare can help you avoid financial surprises by helping you compare costs and doctor quality ratings. United Healthcare.
Uh-huh.
Field of life, First Trust Bank is there for you.
Champions on 3. 1, 2, 3.
Because Philadelphia dreams deserve a Philadelphia bank.
Go for the midnight dares. Go for the game. Go for the hits. Go for the fans. Go for the win. Go to Ocean Casino Resort. Book your trip at theoceanac.com.
Hour number 2, National Football Show. It's your boy Big Sills. Please hit the like button. Thank you guys so much for coming aboard. By the way, Manster asked if I've ever tipped a car. Are you a friend of mine from back in my youth? Are you a friend of mine? We used to go car tipping. Me and my friend. By the way, it's funny what my next take is going to be here a little bit on Tony Saragusa. I'm so happy to see the outpour of love that was given to him. Saragusa is a Pitt guy, and one of my high school buddies, Tony Brown, played at Pittsburgh, and Bob Bukowski and Bill Fralick and all them Pitt guys used to come back to Stamford, Connecticut all the time with Tony. So I got a chance to meet all these guys. So in the middle of the night, after we had a few, we would look for Volkswagens, and you could see down the road. This is horrible. My aunt's watching right now. Like where I lived and where Tony lived, anybody who had a Volkswagen parked on the side of the road, we'd get out, and the two of us or the three of us would tip these Volkswagens over. No, we're not over, but on their side, you'd see about 4 or 5 of these Volkswagens tipped on their side as you're driving down the street, and everyone would know because, I mean, we were like the biggest guys in the city, and we're just tipping these cars all the time. So have I tipped a car? Yes, me and my boys used to go car tipping when I was a young kid. Yeah, Kevin, I guess I didn't know what cow tipping was. I went Volkswagen tipping. Oh, man. Yeah, those little Volkswagen rabbits, man, we used to put on their side all the time, man. Oh, man. Car tipping is like cow tipping when you're in the Northeast. Bob, obviously, you know what I'm talking about, right? Big Sills out of control. Hey, by the way, then guess what we do? This is so bad. Then we would go do a Hojo bolt. You know what a Hojo? Yeah, I didn't realize the Hellraisers we were. We'd order like 7,000, like all kinds of food. Then you do a Hojo bolt. Oh. And sometimes you get caught. You got to pay for it, man, right? Oh, we were fools, dude. We were total fools. A lot of fun, though, back in that time, man. It was just a lot of fun. You know, it was funny, too. Hey, Smile, the Howard Johnsons, man. And some of the people that, because, you know, I mean, you knew who I was. So it wasn't like, you know, people would show up at the high school going, Dan Sileo and his buddies were over at Howard Johnson's over in Japan, and they ran out on a bill. And, man, when my grandfather got a hold of that, man, did you run out on a bill? I'm down at the fire department. They're saying you guys are running out. I'm like, he goes, oh, yeah, they jumped off a bridge. You would too, right? You son of a. Hey, man. Oh, God, those. And Betty online, too. Thank you, Chris. Trust me, she knows. Hey, Chris, just to show you that my aunt knows. Hey, Bet, I'm going to tell the story, okay? So my cousin Kevin and I are sitting, and she worked at this place called Trendsetters in New Canaan. And, okay, so there's a school bus sitting there. So what does Sills do? Just goes in there. My cousin Kevin's sitting in the back. I'm moving it around. And I go like this. Oh. Bang. This bus goes screaming down the hill. Hitting every tree there possibly could be. Dang, dang. I don't know how we didn't get killed. Dang, dang. I go, run for it. Sure enough, man, we run back in. My aunt's in this place. I sit there. Sure enough, man, this guy comes rolling around. This kid just drove a bus down the side of a hill. I couldn't have been more than 15 when I did that. Oh, man. Dude, my aunt's like, what are you, crazy? Oh, my God. Funny stuff, man. Holy cow. I'll get an earful on that one. Yeah, my aunt goes, I knew it. Oh, man. Ridiculous. A lot of fun, though, man. Love growing up there, man. What up, Jeremiah? Please, everybody, please hit the like button here. All right. So Gardner Minshew is considered one of the best backup quarterbacks in the National Football League, according to CBS. I changed the list around a little bit. But CBS Sports has Gardner Minshew. I think he had him 6th. I got him 4th. I think he's the best backup quarterback, 4th best backup quarterback in the league. I got Tyler Heineke at 10, Tyrod Taylor 9, Andy Dalton of the Saints 8, Jacoby Brissett Browns 7, Case Keenum Bills 6. I've got Tyler Huntley. I love that kid with the Ravens. I think that kid's got a chance one day to be a starter somewhere. Number 5, I get Gardner Minshew 4. I have Teddy Bridgewater 3, Nick Foles 2. I got Jimmy G 1. Okay, I got Jimmy Garoppolo 1. So my question to you, with all the things that we've been talking about with the Eagles, and by the way, some of you are probably thinking this, geez, Jalen Hurts gets a lot of coverage. The quarterback in every city in America gets a lot of coverage. You don't think they're talking about, do you think here, let me give you the storylines quarterback-wise that are going on around the country. Not that you care, but just so you know that it's not just in Philly. In Tampa, you're asking this, hey, is Brady and Father Time caught him, and he is focused as he's been in the past with all this retirement talk? Is Aaron Rodgers going to not have the same kind of year, not having Devontae Adams? Is he going to be able to develop wide receivers? Can Matthew Stafford in Los Angeles do it again? Can Justin Herbert do it? In Miami, you think Tua's really the guy? In New Orleans, man, we're going to put our faith in Jameis Winston. In Baltimore, wow, man, you think Lamar can stay healthy? In Phoenix, is Kyler mature enough to be the face of a franchise? In Chicago, Justin Fields, man, I don't know. Jets, man, Zach Wilson did not show me enough for me to feel comfortable that he's the face of that franchise. Giants, Daniel Jones is not it. What are we going to do? So those are the conversations. that are going on around the country. You're not the only city that has this debate every day, because there's a lot invested here in this. Same thing, Smile Pittsburgh. What are you going to do in Pittsburgh? Are you really going to go with Mitchell Trubisky, or are you going to go with the kid Pickett you drafted? Okay? Agreed. Pittsburgh, hey, by the way, there's a new storyline. Is Baker Mayfield really being pursued by the Seahawks? Should he go to Carolina instead, take less money? All of that stuff is being debated every single day with different views and different topics. So when we talk about Jalen here, you're not immune to it. Because your franchise this year, I said there's 3 things here that we're going to be constantly focused on: the head coach, the defensive coordinator, and the quarterback's play. Okay, Sydney, will Matt Ryan fit in Indy? That's a debate. Are you sure it was right to give up on Carson Wentz? Carson Wentz in Washington. Wilson in Denver. Okay? All right. With all the things that we've debated here and talked about, how about this? Let me first get a sense of what you think. Do you think this 2022 roster, and you know what? I don't know if you can be objective. I think Xander can be objective. I don't know if you can. Is this 2022 roster better than the 2017 roster? I think this is where we have to start with this topic here. 2022 versus 2017. Do you think this roster is as good as that 17 roster? Xander says, roster better, quarterback's not. Actually, I don't know, man. It's a tight question. Eastside Monster, you have the same response that Xander has. Kevin says we really don't know. Well, then, Kevin, walk me back to the preseason of 2017. That's why I don't know if you can be objective, because you know the end result. That's like telling me that the Titanic is going to be a fantastic ocean liner, and you already know it hits the iceberg. You know what I'm saying? You know that team wins. So I don't know if you can be objective on it. What's a better roster? The 17 team or this 2022 team? What up, Hi? Appreciate you coming aboard. Please hit the like button, folks. Cox and Graham were closer to their prime then. Ravens fans here. I will be objective. Yes, I do, as a whole. By the way, I think you guys have a really great roster this year. That Ravens team's going to, if Lamar's healthy, look out. It has the potential to be better. See, Hi, 2017, they proved it. That's why I'm not sure you can be objective. That's why I'm asking you, who do you think has a better roster? Watch this. June 23rd, 2022 versus June 23rd, 2017. If we take away the quarterbacks, this year is better. Wow. You can't, man. We thought Wentz was a perennial playoff quarterback. Well, he was 11-2 that year. It's hard to be objective because what we know, you're right. And I understand that. That's why I said I don't know if you can. Nobody thought we were good in 17. Charles, I'll admit too, Charles, in 17, no, because I thought Wentz was the guy too. And I'm with you guys. He failed at the end. But then I thought he was the guy. And when he got out to that start, he got out to like a blazing start in 17. Threw for 33 touchdowns. But as a matter of fact, he carried that team. He carried that team for 75% of the year. Is that fair? He carried that Super Bowl team 75% of the year. Okay? It was 13 games. I mean, he only missed 3. "17, the football god smiled upon us." I know that. I'm talking, do you think the roster's better? Because I'm going with the modern day topic here. Jenkinson, McLeod, Harris, Epps, and Tarv. Reason why they was called the underdogs. Wentz had a mediocre rookie. I don't care about that. I asked you about 17. Okay, here, let me expand on it now. I'm going to take Xander's take on it. I don't know. That tells me a lot. Because we do know the result. That team won the Super Bowl. So obviously, you think highly of this 2022 team. If you think that roster was really good, Xander, it's a good take. Okay? Because you know what you're telling me? I asked Xander, okay, works in the media, been a lifelong Philly dude. His passion's that team. Same with you guys. You know what he just told me? He told me a lot about this year's roster with I don't know. Because if I asked him any other year, maybe one of those McNabb years, you'd be like this. That's your benchmark. And you're comparing everything to that because you hoisted the Lombardi trophy. That means you guys think highly of this team and this roster and the collection of talent that you have. I will say this, though. I don't think your coaching's better this year than it was in 17. I don't. I think your coaches are still in training wheels. That's a factor. The two things that you have going against you going into this regular season is the inexperience at the quarterback position and at the coaching position. You can have the best roster on the planet here, but you're deficient in two things that play a factor in NFL seasons. Coaching, quarterback. Frightens you. Frightens me. Okay? Think about that. Your quarterback was playing at an unbelievable rate. He was MVP. And then guess what else? You had a coaching staff that was coaching out of their ass. And you know how we know they coached out of their ass? When that damn dude took Nick Foles and dragged his ass across the finish line. That's freaking unbelievably great coaching. You think that Nick Sirianni has the same capability as Frank Wright and Doug Peterson if something happens to Jalen to take Gardner Minshew and you can run through the tape and get to the NFC Championship game? That's a big putt. For me to believe that today, that you have in their second year a coaching staff. Do you know how many jobs Frank Reich had prior to getting the offensive coordinator's job in Philadelphia? He was a freaking gypsy. Look it up. He had 14 jobs. Look it up. He had 14 assistant coaching jobs. Buffalo, San Diego, everywhere. Carolina. Peterson had gone around too. He was coaching high school to get an opportunity. They handpicked these guys, off of Frank's tree, by the way. Think of that. You do not have the coaching experience. How about this? Even if you think Nick's good, the experience factor alone doesn't equate to what that coaching staff was in 17. Was Jim Schwartz your D coordinator too? Was he the defensive coordinator in 17? Who was that coordinator in 2017 that won that Super Bowl? Let me see this. I think Schwartz was still in Detroit then. Who was the Philadelphia Eagles defensive coordinator in 2017? It was Jim Schwartz. That must have been his first year after being fired. And I thought Jim Schwartz did a hell of a job in Detroit, even though the numbers didn't really show it. So get this. So you had a former head football coach as your defensive coordinator. You had one of the most innovative guys at offensive coordinator in Frank Reich, who's gone on to do some pretty good things as a head coach in Indianapolis. Won more games than what the Eagles have won since he went there. And you had Doug Peterson. Whew. So if you think the roster, what's this? The roster's a push. The coaching staff is by far not. Why would Howie assemble a football team as good as the 2017 group and put training wheel coaches in the building with them? How does that make sense? This is where I come down again what I said yesterday about Howie Roseman. You need to let your coaches hire the assistant coaches. Okay? I mean, if your rosters and what you guys are saying is close, we'll get to the quarterback in a minute here. If you're telling me it's close, where you lose me is you don't have the coaches that you had then. Those coaches had seen everything. Jim Schwartz was a head coach. He had been kicked around a bit. That guy gets into Philly. He turns that unit into a monster unit. Your offensive coordinator was a guy who was customizing game plans for every week like a chameleon. You had a head coach that was us against the world mentality. Hey, no one thinks we're good. I know we are. And he was exuding that to the group. When Nick Sirianni talks to me like that, I think a school teacher or a bookworm's talking to me. No disrespect, Nick, but this is big boy football, dude. I don't know if I see the same confidence that I do in Doug Peterson that I do in Nick Sirianni when he starts talking to me about planting seeds and shit. Okay, guy, that's all good and stuff for the media, but for football guys, this is about going out and doing hand-to-hand combat. You're talking to me about funny T-shirts and all this other shit. I'm in hand-to-hand combat on Sundays. Hand-to-hand combat. And if you put me in a shitty position, I'm going to come looking for you. You better not put me in a... Hell, Fletcher Cox is trying to do it very politically last year. Man, I don't know what we're doing here at 2-5. They're asking me to do all kinds of crazy shit. No, Gary, I'm having a conversation here because I'm going to get to my topic, actually. Nobody's screwed. Okay? One above all said, Doug said a ton of goofy shit. The difference, though, is it panned out. It panned out. You got to remember something about last year's fool's gold of a record. Last year was fool's gold. I hate to tell you this. You beat no one. You don't get pats on the back for beating shitty teams. Who said that? You need to beat the Rams of the world and the Bucks and the Packers to get validation in this league. Beating teams with no hope does not validate you. That's why when I had Barrett on a couple minutes ago and we were talking about DC head coach and quarterback, you don't get validation because you played well against shitty teams. The question marks is the staff and the QB. You guys just told me that you think this roster is in the same category. You know what 007 said? Look at Dallas's dynasty. Continue with Barry Switzer. He did never talent evaluated anything. As a matter of fact, 007, the entire coaching staff that coached under Jimmy stayed intact. Barry's biggest comment that he told Jerry Jones the day he took the job, I know this. Larry Lacewell told me what was said in the office when Barry Switzer got the job and Jimmy was fired. You want to hear it? I'll tell you. No one knows it, or very few do. The first thing, hey, what's this? The first thing Barry Switzer said, where's Jimmy? To Jerry. And Jerry goes like this, Barry, you know he's fired. Jimmy's gone. He goes like this, and I'm going to be very candid. Barry goes, how could you two fuck this up? How could you two fuck this up? Remember, Switzer coached both those guys at Arkansas. He was their freshman coach at Arkansas. He goes, how could you two guys do that? Why would you do that? And he was so prophetic in what he said because Jerry's never been back. He goes, I'm not going to screw anything up. I'm leaving everything intact. It was all Jimmy's fundamentals. Ask Switzer, he'll tell you. Okay? Maniac says, I pissed 7 times since Sileo started. That's how much Sileo makes me drink. What am I saying that's wrong here? Okay? What am I saying that's wrong here? What's this? What, you think today's coaching staff is better than that 17 coaching staff? Xander, I don't even want to ask him that. I'm not asking him that. That's a dumb question. Okay? That's clickbait. I don't need you to answer that. I already know that. But what you guys have said to me here is, well, 17 and 2022, boy, it looks pretty close to me on talent. Except for the two things that matter the most. Coaching staff and quarterback. Wow. So you're basically a head coach away and a quarterback away. You're just not a quarterback away. Even Andy Reid with this team and that quarterback. It's Alex Smith 2.0 kind of. The Eagles look like an Alex Smith kind of team. Like that. Good. Not spectacular. You put a here. I want to go to my topic though. To get torched by old man Brady and see what the Rams did the following week to him shows you how far the Eagles are. Do you really think that was a fair comparison, Gary? It's Tom Brady. I would have liked my chances against the Rams. Because why? The San Francisco 49ers earlier in the year ran the ball down their throat and ran them off the field. I would have liked that matchup more than I would have the Bucs matchup. I would have taken that matchup a little bit better. I would like to have played the Rams. Bucks at home with Brady. I don't know. It was a recipe for a disaster. That was a horrible matchup. Okay? That was a horrible matchup. Yeah, but Chris, the Bucks embarrassed us. The Bucks. How many people have Brady embarrassed in his career? Watch this. Tom Brady embarrassed me. All right. That's like saying Derrick Henry ran me over. Well, there's about 50 guys he's done that to, so I understand. Okay? It's a little different when you got Jimmy Garoppolo beating Aaron Rodgers as many times as he has. I know what you're saying, Sills, but we got to see more than a year for coaching for quarterback. That's my topic. I want to take a timeout, okay? And I'm going to hit on something. You guys could, hey, listen, one thing we do here that I love is that you could disagree with me 100% on this thing here. But if your roster and what you guys are saying is as close as the 17, I'll have the topic here for you. My friends at Morgan & Morgan, where the fee is free, meaning this, they don't get paid unless you get your fair compensation. If you're hurt or injured on the job, do me a favor, my friends, call Morgan & Morgan. They are the biggest law firm in the country, and they will go to work for you and do battle for you. There's no such thing as a fender bender at Morgan & Morgan. For the people, I will tell you, and I will tell you again, for over 25 years, it is not a slogan. It is exactly who they are. With over 800 attorneys and offices in Philadelphia, New York, and in Florida, they have those attorneys ready to go to battle for you once you pick up the phone and make the call. 800-512-1600. That's 800-512-1600. The call is free. The consultation's free. 800-512-1600. Open 24/7, 7 days a week. And when you call Morgan & Morgan, please do me a favor. Tell them Big Sil sent you.
I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. When you're hit from behind in a car crash, the insurance company may try to say, you can't possibly be hurt. It was only a few miles an hour. It's simply not true. You see, here's the thing. Getting hit at 10 miles per hour is like falling off of this. 15 miles per hour, like this. And only 25 miles per hour, this. Injured, dial pound law. There's only one Morgan & Morgan.
Action News at 11 with Rick Williams. It's the team you trust to bring it all together. The stories that impact your community, a sports roundup for the locals, and the AccuWeather forecast you depend on. Action News at 11 with Rick Williams.
All right, did you know I was the mommy slam dunk champion?
Really?
Yes, really, don't sound so surprised.
Let's see it.
Oh, you're ready. All right, here we go. Let's hear the crowd. So go to right, I go to left, fake 'em out. Mama, go up, up, up.
She did it.
Again?
You can't avoid gravity, but United Healthcare can help you avoid financial surprises by helping you compare costs and doctor quality ratings. United Healthcare.
Uh-huh.
field of life, First Trust Bank is there for you.
Champions on 3. 1, 2, 3.
Because Philadelphia dreams deserve a Philadelphia bank.
Go for the midnight dares. Go for the game. Go for the hits. Go for the fans. Go for the win. Go to Ocean Casino Resort. Book your trip at theoceanac.com.
Welcome back. National Football Show. It's your boy, Big Sills. You know, I keep seeing this Josh Allen comparison to Jalen. Do you understand that people like Cosell and some of the great talent evaluators like Scott Pioli said that Josh Allen was one of the most physically gifted quarterbacks they have ever seen come out of college? They compared him to like Elway ability. Trevor Lawrence, too, is in that conversation. Stop doing that. No one's ever confused Jalen Hurts for having that kind of ability or that body type. Or I was listening to Shady McCoy. You know what Shady McCoy said today on a sports show? He said, when I was in Buffalo, they asked him, did you know right away? He goes, yeah. You know, you didn't know if he was going to be great this year, but you knew immediately. You saw this dude jumping over people, rocket arm. You just knew it when you saw it. Don't let your eyeball test lie to you. You compare him to Josh Allen is a joke. Josh Allen is a prototypical passer. He is a passer. Jalen's not a passer. We had this discussion yesterday. He is not a passer. Okay? He's not a passer. Stop that. He's a hybrid quarterback. I know you don't like to hear that, but he's not. Your hope is he develops like Lamar developed. You're hoping that comparison. Do I think he'll ever reach the heights of Lamar Jackson like a league MVP? Absolutely not. But do I think he's functional enough? Look, if Trent Dilfer can win a Super Bowl, Jalen Hurts can win one. Okay? He can. If Colin Kaepernick can get a team to the Super Bowl, that's a great question. Do you think in the Super Bowl year of Colin Kaepernick, the way he was playing, do you think Jalen's better than Kaepernick? Kaepernick has the same fundamental skills as Jalen and vice versa. You think Jalen's better than Colin Kaepernick? Here, let me take a look at that Super Bowl year. When he took over for Alex Smith. Colin Kaepernick's stats. What year did the Niners, can you guys remember what year the Niners went to the Super Bowl against the Ravens? In 2013, he was 12-4. He was 12-4, threw for 3,197, 21 touchdowns, 5 interceptions. In 2012, he was 5-2, took over. Okay. Boy, these numbers look pretty similar. They're pretty similar. They're pretty similar. The more I'm looking at him, watch this. Xander says the same thing. If I'm looking without a name, I see Jalen Hurts all over this. 31.97, 33. The interception ratio is kind of low, but they're real similar. You know, he runs the ball a lot. If you go down here to rushing, 524, 639, 256, 470. I don't know. Very similar. Your comparison to the rest of these guys in the league, your comparison's Colin Kaepernick. You've got Colin Kaepernick quarterbacking your team. The numbers say it. And by the way, before you think that's shit, Colin Kaepernick did win the NFC. Okay? By the way, I don't think Colin was a bad quarterback. I think he had Jim Harbaugh as his coach, though. Jim Harbaugh, do you know what his record is as an NFL head coach? He's 41-14-1. Jim Harbaugh actually is more suited for the NFL than he is for college, in my opinion. Look what he said. That 49er team had a great roster, same as you do now. Kaepernick was nothing special. You know what? I could do this, Mike. That Eagle team had a great roster. Jalen Hurts was nothing special. He ran a lot and got red zone TDs with his legs. What's the difference? Just the name. Sounds the same to me. DeShante goes, there you go, comparing Hurts to another quarterback. No, I'm telling you, you're comparing him to the wrong guy. You're comparing him to these passers. He's not. But it shows you, I think you missed the point and this landed wrong. I'm going to make sure this lands right for you. Kaepernick was good enough to take a good roster to the Super Bowl, like I'm telling you. Jalen's good enough to do what Colin Kaepernick did, to get you to the Super Bowl. Is he going to throw for 33 touchdowns? Never in your life. But he doesn't need to. I believe they had Frank Gore running the ball then. They had a dominant running attack, played great on defense, hell of a roster. That's where I want this to land, this conversation. Nobody's comparing him physically. I'm comparing his game. Jesus, criminy. What are we going to do next? What part of the country he's from? I'm comparing his game. Guys, we're not talking physicality here. Kaepernick was 10 times more physical than Jalen will ever be. Kyler Murray is a pretty decent passer, my friends. Give me credit, Sills, for saying that for weeks now, Sills. Okay, Davey. Okay. Let me get to the topic. Look, I hope it landed where I wanted it to land. Colin Kaepernick got a football team to the Super Bowl. You guys are keep going like this. Well, Sills, you have us doing really well this year. I do. I think if he plays the same way that Kaepernick played in either 12 or 13 when they got to the bowl, you get there too. Because you got a good – you told me that you think that this roster is as good as that 2017 roster. Xander even goes like this. I don't know. I think it's close. Now, the coaching is different. Maybe Nick turns into Andy Reid. Hopefully, we're all hoping that. Okay, now watch this now. Here's what I'll ask you. Here's where the topic comes in now. Are you really going to allow a football team that has a roster as good as 2017 to let a dude play the whole year out? If he starts shitting the bed going into that bye, are you really going to let him play all 17? I would never. I would never implode my year to try to make a point. If you guys think that you have the same ability that you had in 17, that's almost criminal to the other guys in the locker room. Because the front office wants to prove a point, you're going to do it then again, you've done it before. When you laid down for that game at the end of the year and you put Nate Sudfeld in, you sabotaged the game. Why wouldn't you sabotage the back end of the season? Plus, your draft choices would be higher in the draft order. Howie doesn't lose. He's got 2 1s. Shit, if they shit the bed, Howie's got to look at it like this. Well, we shit the bed, but at the end of the day, we're in a better position to get a quarterback because my draft choices are higher now in the order. That's how he's looking at this. You know he made that Saints move for one move. He's not drafting a safety. He's going to move there. I'm not saying he's praying for the team to lose. I am not saying that at all. I'm saying he can't lose. And that's why he is going to let him play through all 17, even if he sucks. And I'm not suggesting he is. I'm saying that your general manager has this thing set up perfectly. Has it set up perfectly. If Jalen shits the bed, those draft choices, they start getting higher and more valuable in the draft order. What if the Saints implode and Jameis Winston sucks out loud? Could you potentially have 2 picks in the top 15? You're going to land on somebody you want now. Manster says the Saints have to lose often. Well, let's see how they do with Jameis Winston. Bob says, Sills, unless Hurts regresses, he gets the year. Minshew is not the answer. I never said he was the answer, but he's not going to be put in. I would never injure a season, okay, when you're telling me you have the same talent you did during the Super Bowl year. You just all said that. All of you just said that. You're going to compromise your year and not putting the other guy in. Why again? Because the GM wants the quarterback in the draft. Howie has already shown you he will lose a game or 2. He will compromise the roster. He's done it. That's my big ass with him. Because 53 men prepare every single Sunday to play in a game. And when your organization and your coaching staff puts you in a position to lose and you can't do anything about it, that's not winning football. That's not a winning culture. That's a guy whose ego, once again, like I said yesterday, goes off the reservation and doesn't allow football. That's why Mike Tomlin wins all the games that he wins. Mike Tomlin's not going to compromise anything. What's that famous line that Mike Tomlin has? Don't ever let go of the rope. You let go of the rope that year just to get Wentz out of the building. That's why he did that. Embarrass Wentz. You pull him for Nate Sudfeld, then you pulled Jalen even. He didn't give a shit about the other 52 guys in the building. He tanked that game on purpose. No one in Philly's going to tell you that, though, because you know why? They want press passes. They want to go to games and sit in the press box and eat this food up in the press box at the link and have the ability to maybe get someone on every now and then. That's why they don't tell you that. Hey, lay down for that game. That's a crime. That's sabotaging your own system, your own beliefs, your head coach, your coaching staff. That's why Doug Peterson kicked rocks down the street. Didn't want any part of that shit. Who would? I'd love the move to lose that game. I don't want to lose any game. Well, there's the difference between me and you, dude. Everything I do to win. I don't give a shit what it is. If you keep in score, I want to win. That's why when people always go like this to me. Okay? Hey, preseason doesn't matter. Well, if they're keeping score, I want to win it then. Okay? Giants were pissed. I don't give a shit about the Giants. Care less about the Giants. Nathan. And Nathan goes, Seattle practically said they were tanking this year. And you know what? That's the difference of why Paul Allen, when he was the owner of that team had everything going in the right directions. When they had Todd Lewicki as the president of the Seahawks, and they were putting all the foundations down and everything down in the general manager's office, and Pete Carroll didn't have all the autonomy that he has now. And you had one of the richest men and one of the smartest men of all time in Paul Allen, one of the original owners of Microsoft, knew how to build organizations, and you don't have that anymore? Why do you think Seattle's fallen on its face? Pete Carroll's a good coach. He's a shitty manager. That's what happened to Bill O'Brien in Houston. Bill O'Brien's a pretty decent coach. He's won a lot of ball. Bill O'Brien has a winning record as a head football coach in the NFL. He's horrible as a general. You get rid of DeAndre Hopkins because your owner wants or your GM wants you to. I would have looked at that GM and went, I'm out. I'm out. I'll get another job. He did. He's got a job right now as the OC at Alabama, and he's going to pick his job next because everyone knows what a train wreck it is in Houston. Another guy that has been rehabilitated by Nick Saban. Isn't it funny? All these coaches that have been rehabilitated by Nick Saban. Hey, Xander, get this. Lane Kiffin, $8 million, Ole Miss. Steve Sarkisian, $8.5 million, Texas Longhorns. Bill O'Brien, $2.5 million, OC, Alabama, will pick his job here real soon in the NFL or in the college ranks. All under the rehab of Dr. Saban. Come on, man. Some of you may not like what I'm saying here. Seals, by the way, what you're saying about winning, how did you feel about the Sixers process? It's a culture that can't be changed. It's a culture that can't be changed because the owner allows it. The Sixers tanking, and you're here like this? Nowhere. You're kind of decent. If I was Joel Embiid, why would I stay in an organization that doesn't know how to win and is not trying to fix a culture? Get rid of guys like Jimmy Butler, pass on other really great players. Okay? It's a train wreck of an organization. Bob goes, that's why Howie has a young staff. He could dictate how they move forward. That's completely true why they have a training wheels head coaching staff. Gary, look at that. Dr. Saban gets you the bag of money. Absolutely. If you're a coach, wait a minute. I forgot one too, Xander. Let me think. Let me do it one more time. Sarkisian makes $8.5 million a year as a Texas Longhorn. He just nailed Arch Manning as the top recruit in the country. Lane Kiffin makes $8.5 now at Ole Miss, former OC in Bama. Put up with a lot of shit of his, correct? Kirby Smart just won a national championship and makes $10 million. Bill O'Brien's going to get a job. He makes $2.5 now. Dr. Saban, Jesus criminy. You get a job at the Alabama Crimson Tide on that coaching staff, you're destined for a bag of money or a Brinks truck. mean, these are premier programs that he sets these guys up for. You know the only thing he asked them to do? You know the only thing that Nick Saban asks his coaches not to do? Once you get one of these great opportunities, don't raid his staff. That's one of his pet peeves. I know that because it aggravates him when one of his guys gets a big gig. They try raiding his staff and taking some of the guys with him. He hates that. Okay? Go build your own shit. I gave you an opportunity. Now you want to try to hurt us? Why? The only reason we had to tank was because Howie built a crap team. Built a crap team. He allowed it to disintegrate. He was wrong on the quarterback again. He's been wrong on the quarterback his entire time in Philly. The only quarterback that they've been right on since 2000 has been McNabb. Think of that. In 22 years, you've had one quarterback you were right on. Okay? And get this. And I guess you could say you were right on Foles because he's a winner. Put Foles in a different uniform and a different helmet. Not so the case, though. Chris says, Wentz was solid until the injury. I say Wentz was solid until the Seattle game. A lot of the coaches you mentioned couldn't cut the mustard in the NFL. You know, that's a great comment by Bobby. Unfortunately, Bobby, here's the difference. That Lane Kiffin and Steve Sarkisian make twice the salary Nick Sirianni makes in Philly. Twice the salary. Who gives a shit about coaching in the NFL versus college? I look at paychecks. Okay? Thank you, Xander. No, he shouldn't have. He's going to make more money in Texas. You think he chose Texas over Bama because Texas is a better program? Since when? They've got 55 4- or 5-star guys on that roster, and they get beat by teams like Kansas. What in anybody's mind would make you think that Texas is a better place than Alabama? No, Xander, I disagree. I think you're going to have the biggest boosters in the country, according to Forbes. The two richest programs. I hate to tell people, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, according to Forbes, I think Bama's 9th or 10th when it comes to value of what your program is. A&M and the Longhorns are number one, and it's not close. It's not close. The money in Texas, I told you this at the open of the show. They chose Texas because of the brand and the dough that's there. Okay, Bama's 3. Okay, I know A&M and the Longhorns are 1 and 2. That Kyle Field at A&M, Bama's 3rd or 4th. Okay. Texas and Texas A&M, man, have enormous dough. Enormous. That brand is going to help him, and plus he doesn't have the rigors of the SEC. He's going to own that conference. You go over here, you play in that SEC, man. Okay? You go to Bama, I'm playing LSU one week. Then I got to turn around and play Florida. Then I got to turn around and play A&M. Then I got to turn around and play a good Kentucky team with a high draft choice quarterback on it. Then I got to turn around. Hey. Yeah. Uh-huh. Oh, okay. Okay. Homeboy got his little heart hurt when I said they were 9th or 10th in money. Oh, sorry, man. I just know Texas is going to give him more money. Texas is moving to the SEC. Ryan, not for 3 years. He may not be there in 3 years. This guy's probably going to play 2 years in Texas. Sounds like Arch was scared. See, to me, I'm going to Bama. Hey, look, it's hard for me as Big Sills to say that I would never go to Miami, and that's not the case because I can't be that objective. But kids today, okay, man, out of the SEC. I'll tell you this, though. I wouldn't play for Brian Kelly at LSU. There's something about him down there. I think he's full of shit. And I wouldn't play for him. I think they're going to struggle with him. Hey, everybody, how you doing? This is Brian Kelly from Maine. Y'all fixing to come over and have yourself a soiree. We make those ribs in a barrel down here in Tuscaloosa. By the way, I had the best ribs in my entire life in Birmingham. And by the way, I'll tell you something, Xander. I played on one of the greatest fields in the history of college football, Legion Field. I played, when I was in the World League, against the Birmingham Fire, I think they were called. And I played on Legion Field. Alabama played there for the longest of time. They would play a game or two down there at Legion Field. And when you walk into that stadium and you see Bear Bryant in that thing with a statue there, that was one of the highlights, having played on Legion Field. Okay? Dan wants Hurts to succeed. That's why he's so hard on him. I get it now. Interesting. Yeah. Because the bar's set high. The bar is set. Guys, you tell me that this roster is as good as the 17 roster. The bar is high here. This is not last year. The bar has been moved. Let me reset. Please hit the like button. Keep it right here on the National Football Show.
News at 11 with Rick Williams. It's the team you trust to bring it all together. The stories that impact your community. A sports roundup for the locals. And the AccuWeather forecast you depend on. Action News at 11 with Rick Williams.
All right, did you know I was the mommy slam dunk champion?
Really?
Yes, really don't sound so surprised.
Let's see it.
Oh, you're ready. All right, here we go. Let's hear the crowd. So go to right, I go to left, fake 'em out. Mama go up,
She did it.
Again?
You can't avoid gravity, but United Healthcare can help you avoid financial surprises by helping you compare costs and doctor quality ratings. United Healthcare.
Uh-huh.
Field of life, First Trust Bank is there for you.
Champions on 3. 1, 2, 3.
Because Philadelphia dreams deserve a Philadelphia bank.
Go for the midnight dares. Go for the game. Go for the hits. Go for the fans. Go for the win. Go to Ocean Casino Resort. Book your trip at theoceanac.com.
Big Sales, hour number 3. Appreciate you guys coming aboard. Thank you so much for stepping in with us, man. Sills is waiting for Hurts to fail. Then he will pronounce like a lion. Then he will pounce like a lion on a gazelle and clown us every show. That is so wrong of you. Do I have to? Dear Tyler, Eagle fans are giving you the pass and say that they would like you to go to the Giants. Big Chris says that. So when you watch the show, Big Chris wants you in New York next year at the draft. And he wants me to facilitate that because you know that I know the Maras and the Tishes very well. Okay. Big Chris wants you in New York with the Giants because he loves his boy Jalen. Oh, boy. Let's see if we can hopefully get through that. I do too. Here we go. What? What do you mean, boo? Blame Chris, not me. Blame Chris. Hey, I've tried. You guys love the guy. All right, man. Let's go. Let's go. Colin Kaepernick, Jalen Hurts. Let's go. Yeah, let's go. Hey, Colin Kaepernick got a team to the Super Bowl. So can Jalen. It's all good. Look at Hurts' college stats. They're better than Tyler's. Okay. We'll see where Tyler Van Dyke is drafted next year. Won't be in round 2. Okay. Won't be in round 2. Yeah. Hang on, Nathan. You know, blame Chris, not me. Put all your angst on him. Chris is the one that's doing this. Sills looks so enthusiastic. What are you, a mind reader now? Don't say that. Sills wants the Birds to draft Tyler Van Dyke. No, Tyler Van Dyke wants to play in Philly, but you guys don't want him. Or Chris doesn't. Or some of you don't. I can't tell any longer. I've done my best here. I got Mario Cristobal during my program having me help him recruit. So I got kind of like, you know, they go, the PR department asked me, goes, when do you want Tyler on the show? I go, I know, Xander. My boy wants him on, but we're not doing that right now. Okay. I'm your Huckleberry. I love that movie. Chris. Wider. I love that, man. Dylan, forever the optimist. Hurts has the personality and work ethic of someone great. Those are 2 things you get no credit for with me. I'm hoping he shocks us all. That I am hoping. Hurts is more accurate in passing than Kaepernick. I don't think so. No, I don't think so. I would love to play for the Eagles. Tyler Van Dyke joins Dan Sileo on the National Football Show. Oh, don't post that yet. Do not post that yet, Xander. I get in trouble with the school for that. Ooh. Yeah, hang on there now. Because we're trying to do something here. We'll talk week 7. We'll talk week 7. Guess what? Let me ask you something. Let's make a prediction here on June 23rd. Who do you see as who is your favorite to win the league's most valuable player award? Then I got an Eagle topic here. Do you know who I say is going to be the most valuable player in the National Football League this year? Josh Allen. I think Josh Allen. I think this guy is going to he's going to put Patrick Mahomes as the second best young quarterback in the National Football League. I think he's going to push his ass back to number 2. I think this guy here, because he's got a true legitimate number 1 wideout too in Stephon Diggs. They draft a running back too, improved a little bit on defense on the other side of the ball. I like McDermott. You know what, Birdman? Joe Burrow was my second choice. I can't wait to watch him play this year. Okay? I can't wait. I can't wait to watch him play. Absolutely. Russell Wilson, that's a good one, man. That's a good one. Russell Wilson going into a new conference, into a new division. Whew. The league is going to make Josh Allen the MVP, but I think Justin Herbert's going to have I agree with you, Dion. I think the Chargers and the Vikings are sleeper teams this year to have really great seasons. Birdman, much improved offensive line. They did a lot of stuff. Derek Carr, nice. Nice, Derek Carr. Hey, Xander just brought up Brandon Staley, the coach with the Chargers. Huss, you better win 12 games this year. Derwin James, Khalil Mack, Joey Bosa, Keenan Allen, Mike Williams. I mean, Eckler, Herbert, got one of the best offensive linemen in the league in his second year. You better win some ball games, bro, or that's going to be a hot job. I mean, you better win. You better get far. I would almost say this. You better be in that conversation for the AFC Championship. That dude's got too much. I'll tell you this. There's more heat on Brandon Staley this year than there is on Nick Sirianni in Philly. That dude, you can't have that guy. Because I'll be on that dude's ass. That dude better win a lot. He better win. I know the AFC, I don't give a shit. You got a roster. That's one of the clearly best rosters in the league. Come on now, Junior. 9-8 ain't going to cut it in that division and on that team. You know, you could be the 4th team. Watch this. You could be the 4th team in the AFC West and be the 4th best team in the league. Staley's the weakest link. Well, we've been saying that a little bit in hour number 2 about the coaching staff you have now. I've been saying it for 10 years. This guy, Howie's toxic. I'm so glad I found you. Hey, G.I., do me a favor. Hit the like button, please. Thank you. I appreciate you coming aboard for the first time. Listen, I'm not saying that Howie's toxic. I think he jumps his rails too much. He gets involved in shit he shouldn't be getting involved in. Okay? He does. Sabotaging games, shit like that, man. Coaching staff decisions. The reason why he's got training wheel coaches now. Hey, by the way, that's a great call. Let me ask you something. Who picked Doug Peterson as coach? Who was the GM that picked Doug? Was it Howie? Did Howie hire Doug Peterson? Jeffrey Lurie did. Jeffrey Lurie hired him. Jeffrey Lurie hired him. Xander says Jeffrey Lurie hired him. Let me double check that. I know where to go for that. Who hired Doug Peterson as head coach in Philadelphia?
According to CBS Sports, CBS Sport NFL insider Jason LaCanfora confirmed the report.
The owner. Under the advice of Andy Reid. Andy Reid suggested it. Andy Reid suggested it to the owner of the Eagles that they hired Doug Peterson. Huh. Interesting. And now, Xander, you've given me exactly, you're right. Lurie hired Sirianni because remember when Frank came on the first time? He said he called Jim Irsay and they were talking Wentz, and then the owner called Frank and Frank recommended Nick Sirianni. That's how he got the job. He said that on this show. So I got it. Makes sense now. You're right, Xander. I got it. If we are being real, Lurie makes all decisions like Jerry Jones, but Lurie is smart enough to have Howie as the perfect scapegoat for when shit goes bad. Yeah, everybody's got to fall, dude. So Sills is saying Sirianni is the Joe Biden of football coaches. When did I say that? Sirianni's not going to fall off a bike, dude. Hey, Sirianni's not going to fall off a bike. I know that. He ain't going to fall off the bike. Yeah. Training wheels, dude. Oh, no, man. You got a training wheels coaching staff. It's just crazy. All right. Let me ask you this one now. No. Now, should I say it? Nick Sirianni is more like the Kamala Harris. No, I'm not. I'm not doing that. I can't. I can't. Please see. It's here, and it's racism. And then you have nepotism. That's what I mean. Every time I hear her do this, well, it's racism, and it's nepotism, and it's who you know. And we understand that because we have to all get better. I don't know. I'm going to save you 18 cents on a gas. Dude, I'm paying $6.18, so I'm paying $6. I don't know. Okay, I can't even buy a bazooka piece of bubble gum with that. Anyway, let me throw this at you now here. If you had on June 23rd to pick who you think the MVP of your football, I cannot wait to hear this. Who are you predicting? I think Josh Allen's going to be the most valuable player in the league this year. Who's going to be the Eagle most valuable player by the end of the season? I can't wait to hear this. Who's going to be your most valuable player at the end of the year? Reddick. Devontae. Kelsey. Reddick gets another one. Lane Johnson. No GMs. Fletcher. Hurts. AJ gets another one. BG. Okay. Brandon Graham. Goddard. Fletcher. I'm going to go a little longer here with this. Why are you? I'm not a Hurts. Sanders. This is great. Sanders again. Minshew. Slay. AJ again and Miles. Look at this. Wow, you guys are smart here. Milton Williams. Seals for all the... How is this Hurts hate? I'm not hating anybody here. What do you think? People think you're... N'Kobe. Come on. Who do you think is going to be the most valuable? Barnett? Oh, East Side Monster. What in the... Dude, are you friends? Are you friends with Xander? Reddick again. Hurts. Kaiser White. Okay. Let me just take a look at this thing here now. Dallas Goedert, Brandon Graham, Fletcher Cox a couple times. Bradbury now. Bunch of votes for Reddick. Devontae. Lane, Kelsey. Bunch of votes for AJ. Bunch of votes for Miles Sanders. Slay. Milton Williams. I didn't pretend. Right there, Junior. Dude, I'm not a very good liar. Okay, so you think more of me. Okay, I'm not a very good liar. I don't lie well. Okay, I'm not. I'm not N'Kobe Dean. And of course, two smart Alex put Jalen Hurts. So you guys named all these dudes, man, and Jalen gets 2 votes. Wow, a lot of confidence. Oh man, hey, where's all that confidence here, man? When I asked you who the MVP, he's gonna have a good year, but you guys got the rest of these dudes as your most valuable player. Wow, man, that's crazy. Think about that for a minute. Look at all these names, Xander, that they mentioned. Yeah, of course, smart ass Chris. He don't mean that, and you know he don't mean that. In his heart, he knows that. In your heart, Chris, you know that. And anybody who says he'll be the MVP of this team is come on now. Keep hating on Hurts. You're going to eat crow. It'd be the only thing I haven't eaten. Seals don't lie well, but he could stir it hot with the best of them. BZ. Come on, man. You must be a South Philly dude. What about mine, Tyler? Week 7. Seals, we all know in your heart you want all of us to say Hurts, so well, no, I don't want that. Now you're thinking for me? Oh. Hurts doesn't have to be an MVP. He doesn't? So Jalen Hurts doesn't have to play at an MVP level like Wentz did in 17. He could be kind of good. I should get a T-shirt made, leading the witness. Eastside Monster, from now on, shut your mouth when I'm throwing topics out. Okay? Big Sill sighting at Hooters tonight? Nah. They don't have really the grouper I like any longer in there, man. Grouper's a $12 sandwich now. I'm not paying $12. My aunt went out the other day, had a $13 ice cream. She's like, what? Devin Allen. Eastside Monster. Sills is leading us again. Sills goes to Wingstop. Nah, Wingstop, man, they overcooked their wings, dog. Not the best. Grouper is awesome at Hooters, man. Well, it used to be. I love the steamers at Hooters and the grouper. The clams, the fried clams, all great. Burgers are wonderful. Eat crow and have a Hurts t-shirt. I like to put winners t-shirts on, dog. Not guys who were benched. Big Sills don't sit the bench. Birdman says Joe Biden says Hooters prices are going up because of Putin's prices. It's going up because of the Ukraine war. That's why the grouper prices are going up. All right. Hey, I don't need a Hooters anymore because of the Ukraine war. One, I can't drive there. Secondly, the grouper prices. The hell? Cherry Stone clams. Oh, man, those are so good. And plus those Maryland blue shell crabs. God, I miss the East Coast so much. Man, oh my God, Maine lobster. Dude, nobody eats Australian lobsters except the people out west. God, do I hate that. Maine lobster, Maryland blue shell, clams, schoongeel, all Big Sills top items. Okay? I asked for a lobster in California. They give me one of them Australian lobsters. I'm like, this is not a lobster. Yes. Did you hear that Lawrence had 24 million salary reduced to 9 million because he got paid in crypto? Wow. That's an ass beating. Yeah. That's a New England Clams are unbelievable, dude. Jersey Blue Claws, baby. Wow, are those great. Shit. Man, that stuff's good. You go down to Wildwood and you go down there and get a bucket of them, man. God forbid. Scallops, too. Here, my top items. Lobster, scoongeel, Maryland blue shell, steamers. I will eat some crayfish. Okay? That's a little more south. It's not really a New England deal. Mussels are kind of slimy a little bit, but I'll eat them. Jumbo shrimp. Shrimp's down the list, though, dude. Dude, scoongeel for me is my second favorite dish. My grandpa made it all the time, and we used to catch it. Pfft. My aunt sends me scoongeel, just so you know. She sends me scoongeel. Steamers from Cleveland? I don't think so. Steamers from the Atlantic is where I get them. Steamers from Lake Erie? I'm not eating anything out of Lake Erie. Okay? Oysters are spectacular, too. Yeah, they're up there high. Rockfish, too, man. That's good stuff. Oh, God, Atlantic City saltwater. Salty, chewy oysters right there outside of Atlantic City. Shit. You guys are making me nuts, man. Man, do I miss East Coast seafood, man. It's just the best. Sills, can we get a one-on-one interview with Big Sills and Jalen Hurts at a Hooters? Well, we're going to have to hurry and do that by week 7 because I'll be interviewing the next quarterback of the Eagles. Oh, I shouldn't say that. I heard Cleveland Steamers taste. What gave that away? Lake Erie? The lake's on fire, bro. Okay? Cleveland's a pretty decent city, man. They got a great fan base. Oh, don't start crying, Birdman. Week 7. Love the Maryland area. Used to go down with my aunt to Atlantic City, and I used to go up to Atlantic City and then over to Ocean City, Maryland. You guys go to – hey, is Ocean City, Maryland still a place? It's still a thing? Is it still a thing, Ocean City? You guys go – Ocean City is awesome, man, back when I was a kid. I used to go there all the time. They got great seafood places there, or they did at least. When you're doing a Big Sales cooking show, say Hurts, for example, you think Jalen would eat scoongeel? Do you guys even know what scoongeel is? Ocean City, Maryland is still hopping. Oh, God, I used to love going there. Take that drive across, like, you know, that open ocean. Then you get across over there on the island. I heard Hurts and Devontae are really into cooking. Well, I hope they're really into cooking on the field. Really, I hope they are. Hurts apparently likes them spicy foods. I love spicy food too. Sills Cookie Show. How to prepare crow. Yeah. No. Bro. How to prepare crow. Here. You guys have Colin Kaepernick as your quarterback now. Deal with it. Kaepernick and Jalen are the same guy. One's taller than the other. And one drives a Ferrari. And the other guy drives a Yugo. I mean, Colin Kaepernick drives a Ferrari because he made money off race baiting. Jalen drives a Yugo. I mean, wait a minute. The guy at Alabama drives a Mercedes-Benz, I'm sure. I drove a vet in college. I'm sure he drives a little bit better than what Big Sills had. Josh, no respect for. I got a lot of respect for Hurts, man. He's a starting quarterback in the NFL. Louisiana gumbo spectacular. That gumbo's great. Conch shells. That's South Florida. Okay. Eastside Monster. Leading the witness. Hey, you know what though, bro? You see what he says? I love the show. Always a good laugh. Such a wide range of emotions watching it. You know what though, Eastside Monster? See, he's now onto my game. Eastside Monster, when you hear a list is coming, what do you think? It goes somewhere, right? Okay? It goes somewhere. When a list is coming up, it goes somewhere, right? Okay? And when I start talking about a player, it leads somewhere. Is that what we're doing here? Always. I got a list. Every time I tell Xander that, he goes, oh, God. Brandon, listen to hey, will you put that up, Xander? Look at Brandon just came in. Brandon Lewis just came in. Just got here. Did Sills trigger anybody? That is so uncool. That is so uncool. Oh. Steven says, black people should be offended that you said Kaepernick is rich off of race baiting. What else is he rich off of? What else is he rich off of? It ain't his play. When you're a leader like Lamar Jackson. You're not out trying to inflame people. You're trying to bring people together. Okay? Lamar Jackson is out on and in the inner city trying to inspire young black African-American kids. That's a hero. That's inspiring. Colin Kaepernick does not inspire. Lamar Jackson inspires. I love that guy. So we have a nice little dialogue back and forth between us. That guy is inspiring. Imagine the shit that guy took when people were trying to make him a wide receiver when he came out of Louisville, and now he's a unanimous MVP, and he's going to get a bag of money like Deshaun got. That's inspiring. That's an inspiring man, let alone African-American. That's what you want your kid to be, is Lamar Jackson. Steven says Kaepernick took a stand for something. What was that exactly? Has the league changed? Did they give him a job? What's he changed? Nothing. The league is still the league. They gave him go-away money, and he had no impact, except on a few people who think he did. Nothing's changed. Of the 10 highest paid players in the league, 8 are African American. Nathan says, Cap got shafted. So has other players like Tebow and Michael Sams and others who have been shafted. Welcome to the NFL. They don't like who you are. Here's a great example. An African-American guy who's got 24 sexual assault cases against him just got a $230 million bag of money. I bet that's racism too. I bet that's racism. Hey, let's give an African-American $230 million guaranteed money, $250 million with all those cases against him. And Jimmy Haslam gave him that, backed up the Brinks truck to him. Yeah, that's racism too, I'm sure. Davey Boy goes, Sam's got you. Yeah, Sam's did. Sam's is the only Southeastern Conference Defensive Player of the Year never to play in the NFL or drafted. I think he was drafted in the last round, the 7th round. How could Michael Sam be the only player to ever win the SEC Defensive Player of the Year award and never play a down in the NFL? Ask yourself that. He's the only guy that sucked. This guy never played a down or made an active roster. You got to be kidding me. Or maybe that's just coincidence. Okay, Nathan. Fair enough. Activism? Yes, sir. And by the way, I think he's an awesome activist. Okay? Oh, sorry, Davey boy. Oh, I can't wait for SEC football too. Now that I got it. Hey, Big Ben. He got over. Malcolm Jenkins and others had the same feelings as Cap so was only for them. I don't know what that means. Okay. My point is, if Colin Kaepernick was that good, he'd have a job. You got a guy with 24 rape cases against him or allegations against him. They gave him $230 million on a raise. Figure it out, dude. It's not that hard. If Kaepernick was right and he was that good, he'd be in the league. They got a guy. They got 2 quarterbacks in Cleveland. One's got $18 or $19 million that they owe him. And they just gave another guy $45 million a year. I mean, am I missing something here? Dude, if you're good, they're going to pay you no matter what you've done. Okay? Ray Rice couldn't get rehired. Ray Rice could have got rehired, Smile. You know why he didn't? Let me tell you something about Ray Rice. I have so much respect for him. You know why I love Ray Rice? Because Ray Rice was asked by Steve Biscotti, the owner of the Ravens, hey, we'll bring him. He goes, no, I got to be a better man. I got to fix what I've done. His girlfriend that he punched, they've now been married. They have kids. They have a wonderful relationship. And do you know what the NFL has Ray Rice doing? He goes around talking to rookies at rookie symposiums during training camp on what to do, what not to do, and how you can wreck your entire resume with one poor action. You can never forgive Ray Rice for what he did, but what you can do is move forward and say, look at the impact that he's making with his mistake. And to me, that's the kind of thing you hope for people. Redemption, rehabilitation. I know some people don't believe in it. I do. I think you could rehabilitate yourself if it's meaningful. Okay? Ray Rice wanted to be a better man, not a better football player. He didn't use football as a vehicle to get back into people's graces. He wanted to be a better man to the woman that he punched. And to me, that's the ultimate redemption, is when your kids look at you and say, you're a great dad and you're a great husband. One blinding, horrible mistake. Okay? Horrible mistake. But that mistake led to a better man and a better family situation. I don't know how you don't look at that as success. Some won't, though, because people don't have that forgive bug and that button that they forgive people if they redeem themselves. That's you thing more than me. That's a you thing. I think people can rehabilitate themselves. And I think that's what Ray Rice did. When you call a man a piece of, I called somebody a piece of what? I don't ever remember saying that. Ray Rice is the same dude. He's just not knocking her ass out in front of the camera. That's so not true. Got to learn from mistakes, Josh. Hey, mind. Man, Ray Rice was such a great ball player, too. I think he played at Rutgers, if I'm not mistaken. I do. I think he played at Rutgers. Hey, let's take a timeout, man. Guys, please hit the like button. Keep it right here on the National Football Show.
News at 11 with Rick Williams. It's the team you trust to bring it all together. The stories that impact your community, a sports roundup for the locals, and the AccuWeather forecast you depend on. Action News at 11 with Rick Williams.
All right, did you know I was the mommy slam dunk champion?
Really?
Yes, really don't sound so surprised.
Let's see it.
Oh, you're ready. All right, here we go. Let's hear the crowd. So go to right, I go to left, fake 'em out. Mama go up,
She did it.
Again?
You can't avoid gravity, but United Healthcare can help you avoid financial surprises by helping you compare costs and doctor quality ratings. United Healthcare.
Uh-huh.
Field of life, First Trust Bank is there for you.
Champions on 3. 1, 2, 3.
Because Philadelphia dreams deserve a Philadelphia bank.
Go for the midnight dares. Go for the game. Go for the hits. Go for the fans. Go for the win. Go to Ocean Casino Resort. Book your trip at theoceanac.com.
Hit the like button, Big Sills. Interesting. Sills. Can you tell Mario that a couple Eagle Scouts will be see, hold on. I gotta set the day here. Hold on here. There it is. Oh yeah, here it is. Okay. Xander, what do you think? Yeah. September 17th. Hey, Bob, tell Howie, go down September 17th to UM to scout Tyler against A&M. And if that game doesn't work, someone asked me if you'd like to pick two. Let me see here. The November 19th game, too, between Clemson. So UM's got A&M and Clemson. And they got FSU before, too. That Pitt game won't be shit. They beat Pitt last year. So the September 17th, Howie, September 17th or the November 19th Clemson game. Do you want? I'll set up Cristobal and what's in the new Michigan OC who was at Michigan. Now he's down at I'll get a hold of him too. Sorry, guys. I'm doing a lot lately. I'm going to be doing Sirius, a couple other shows. Of course, our show. I'm helping recruit. Jesus, Griminy. Talk about rehabbing. Howie's going to have those binoculars. I don't think it's going to be Howie, though. I don't think he's going to go that far. He'll send one of his boys down, though. Xander, what would you say? What game would be best? September 17th A&M or the Clemson November 19th game? Clemson's got a lot of great football players this year, man. I mean, Clemson's going to be good this year again. A&M's going to be really good, though. A&M's good. A&M's got a lot of good defensive football players. So, yeah, I'd rather have him against an SEC team. That Clemson team is just as good, though, man. They could be in the national title game again this year. Is that Penn gel? Both games. Oh, by the time the November 19th Clemson game comes around, there'll be 200 scouts at that game because of both sides of the football. Big Sale's cooking with Martha Stewart. Hey, get this. Who would have thought between Snoop Dogg and Martha Stewart, when those two are on stage, Martha Stewart's actually done more time in jail than what Snoop Dogg's done. Martha Stewart's done more time than Snoop. Yeah, man. Hey, am I right? Martha spent more time in the pokey than what Snoop's done. Always, man. Hey, what's this? If I would have asked this question to anybody out there, who's done more jail time, Snoop Dogg or Martha Stewart? Everyone goes, Snoop. That's not true. Martha Stewart's a felon. She did like 4 years or 3 years in jail or some shit. Snoop did a couple months in county over that murder thing. Well, hey, he got off. What do you want me to say? He was vindicated in some ways. Same as Ray Lewis was. Oh, my God. I shouldn't talk about that, but my daughter brings it up. She goes like this. So, Ray Lewis, Dad? Yes. Well, Dad, weren't a couple people killed in his presence? Watch this. I don't know. She's like, Dad, I think, didn't he have a roommate at Miami that was killed also? Shotgun? Dad, and hey, I'm like this. I guess, yeah. She goes, you guess, was a Miami Hurricane killed in his room with a shotgun, and he was Ray Lewis's roommate? Yes, yes. But there's 4 of us in a room. Okay. What happened in Atlanta? I don't know. I wasn't there. Dad, you know everybody who was there. They were all his homeboys, and you know them. She's like, what do you say? I can't hear you. See, so when I get questioned about my friends, I do this to my daughter. My daughter goes, what do you think? And I go, how come I can't hear you? She's like, you mean you don't want to answer? Dad, what happened to Ray Lewis in Atlanta? How come I can't hear you? Oh, man. Dude, hey, answering your friends for their actions sometimes. Yeah, I read your lips and you say Ray Lewis is a killer. I never. Hey, now, hey, get this. Hang on for a second. That's how I see shit and do shit. Hey, I heard he said he was murder. That's not what I said. Well, that's what I thought you said. Man. Trolling. Big Sills doesn't troll, man. Oh, man. Ray skated away from a murder charge and turned to God. Oh, man. He said guilty. I don't think so, Ryan. Not with you, group. No way. No way would I put Ray on with you guys. No way. No way. Ray, I know Ray well. No, I'll put Ed Reed on. Okay? I'll put Ed Reed on. Not Ray Lewis. No way. No, I asked OJ. Hey, I asked OJ to come on. He's still not doing interviews. I'll show you. I asked OJ to come on. I got to get this before it is. Hold on. Where's OJ? Oh, please. I hope I didn't delete it. Oh, here it is. See if I got any numbers on there. Hold on. I'll show you. Hang on for a second. See the bottom one? Thanks for reaching out. Still not doing interviews. Big Sills knows them all. Yeah. I'll get Ed on. OJ, hey, I'll put OJ on before I put on Ray Lewis. Yeah. Oh, man. Not putting Ray on. Oh, my God, that's fantastic, man. 6.1 million now. Yeah. I think, man, when I joined this thing last year, I think we were at 2 or something. Am I right? Oh, okay. That's good. All right. I got to do some work here because of you guys. Tyler's hurt. He's hurt. He now thinks you guys wanted to play with the Giants. So, I'm going to have to do some work here. All right, so don't worry. I'll work on it. Guys, you guys were awesome again today. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. Please hit the like button. Until tomorrow, 3 to 6 Eastern. We'll see you on the flip side.